Good evening, all of you. I hope you all are doing well. And today, in this topic, we're going to study the banking and finance current affairs for the month of October 2021. Okay, so let's start the session. Our first issue is government extends the ECLGS scheme till 31/3/2022. Okay, so before getting into this, we need to understand what is this ECLGS scheme is all about. ECLGS means Emergency Credit Line Guarantee Scheme. Okay, if you don't know, then please note it down. Emergency Credit Line Guarantee Scheme. So this scheme was launched as the part of Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan package. Okay, so in 2020 only, this scheme was launched. This scheme was launched as part of the Atmanirbhar Bharat to mitigate the distress caused by the coronavirus induced lockdown. So we already know that because of coronavirus, a lot of the MSME sector and even the financial sector, it was in the loss making. So that's why the government bought of this ECLGS scheme. Okay, so it is Emergency Credit Line Guarantee Scheme. So now why this was in news? So this was in news because the government has extended the timeline of the ECLGS scheme till the 31/3/2022. Okay, or till guarantees for an amount of 4.5 lakh crore rupees are issued under this scheme. Okay, so whichever is earlier. So first, at least they should fulfill this 4.5 lakh rupees crore amount rupees. Otherwise, the credit line guarantee scheme is extended up to 31/3/2022. Okay, at least that date. So whichever is earlier, so that the scheme is all about that much extension. Okay, so now we understood why this ECLGS scheme they bought up. Okay, so it is to mitigate the economic crisis which was caused because of the coronavirus induced lockdown. So why so? Because our MSME sector, it was in the loss. Okay, to give them any extra additional fund, okay, to give them any extra additional capital or loan. So that's why the government bought this ECLGS scheme. So as for this scheme, if we look into specific clauses, the 100% guarantee coverage is to be provided by the NCGTS. Okay, so what is this NCGTS? National Credit Guarantee Trustee Company Limited. Okay, so it's a very important company. So note it down. National Credit Guarantee Trustee Company Limited. So in short, it is NCGTC. So this company is going to provide the 100% guarantee coverage for the banks and NBFCs, because ultimately banks and NBFCs are the institution. They are going to provide the loans for the MSME sector or other mudra borrowers. Okay, so to give them 100% assurance, this company, that is NCGTC company, will work. Okay, so I hope this is clear to you. So this is all about the ECLGS scheme and its extension. Okay, so I hope this is clear to you. They have extended it up to the 31/3/2022. Okay, so or at least 4.5 lakh crore rupees guarantee, whichever is earlier. Okay, so that's why it was in news. So next we move on to the next issue. Padmaja Chundru appointed as the MD CEO of NSDL. Okay, so remember her name, Padmaja Chundru. They have recently appointed as the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of National Security Depositories. Okay, so what is NSDL? National Security Depositories Limited. She has replaced the GV Nageshwar Rao as the MD CEO of NSDL. So before Padmaja Chandru, this GV Nageshwar Rao was there, okay, in the position of MD and CEO of NSDL. So now Padmaja Chandru, she replaced GV Nageshwar Rao. Okay, so this point is very important because it's a very important entity, NSDL, that is National Security Depositories Limited. Okay, so remember that, National Securities Depositories Limited, who is the MD and CEO, Padmaja Chundru. Okay, so I hope this is clear to you. So next we move on to the next issue, that is IFSCA. So IFSCA constitute an expert committee on sustainable finance, and this committee head is Sri C.K. Mishra. Okay, so the International Finance Services Center Authority. So what is IFSCA? So remember, if you don't know, please note it down. What is IFSCA? International Financial Service Centers Authority. Okay, International Financial Service Center Authorities. It has constituted an expert committee. Okay, so one committee it has constituted to recommend the approach towards the development of sustainable finance hub at IFSC. Okay, so what is this sustainable finance? Anybody? Let me know in the comment section. What is this sustainable finance? If you have any idea, because sustainable finance and sustainable growth, these terms you will be reading again and again in the newspaper. If you know anything about the sustainable finance, let me know in the comment section. So what is sustainable finance? What is sustainable finance? What is sustainable growth at least? See, sustainable finance, it is nothing but a process of taking the environment, social, and governance consideration into the account. Whenever any person making investment decisions in the financial sector. So that is called as sustainable finance. Okay. To look after the approach towards the development of sustainable finance hub at IFSC, this IFSCA, that is International Finance Service Center Authority, it has constituted one expert committee. Okay, I hope this is clear to you. So you need to remember this person is very, very important. The head of this expert committee is Sri C.K. Mishra. Okay, so the expert committee will be chaired by Sri C.K. Mishra, former Secretary to Government of India, Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. So total number of members in this committee is 10 members. Okay, so total 10 members are there, including the chairperson. That is, including C.K. Mishra, total 10 members are there in the expert committee. Okay, so I hope this is clear to you. So here one thing you need to understand about the IFSCA. So we understood the long form. So here you need to understand where is the headquarters of IFSCA. So IFSCA headquarters is in the Gujarat. Okay, so that you need to remember in the gift city, Gujarat. Okay, I hope this is clear to you. So next issue is Amit Mehta appointed as the MD and CEO of CRISIL. So these are the facts. Amish Mehta has been recently appointed as the new managing director and chief executive officer of rating agency CRISIL with effect from the October 1, 2021. He has replaced the Ashu Suas. Okay, he won the CRISIL by SNP. Okay, so before Ashu Suas was there, now the Amish Mehta appointed as the MD and CEO of CRISIL. So what is this CRISIL? It is one of the rating agency. Okay, so remember that. So remember Amish Mehta, they recently appointed as the MD and CEO of CRISIL. So these are the factual stuffs. You just keep note it down. Okay. So next, RBI superseded the board of directors of ISIFL and SEFL. Okay, appoints Rajesh Sharma as the administrator. So recently, the Reserve Bank of India has superseded the board of director of Sri Infrastructure Financial Limited. What is SIFL? Sri Infrastructure Financial Limited and Sri Equipment Finance Limited, that is SEFL, under the section 45 IE clause 1. Okay, so you don't have to remember this section and all. So at least you need to remember Reserve Bank of India Act 1934. Okay, so this is one act, Reserve Bank of India Act 1934. So these both, the SEFL and SIFL, what are these? So these are actually the NBFCs. What are NBFCs? We already discussed in the previous class. What are NBFCs? Anybody let me know in the comment section. What are NBFCs? Then only we will understand what this superseding is all about. Tell me the long form of NBFCs. Previous class also we have studied, right? Anybody? Yes, it is non-banking financial companies. Okay, both this SIFL and SEFL, these two are non-banking financial companies. So under this Reserve Bank of India Act 1934, the RBI has superseded the board of directors of these two NBFCs. So why they have superseded that? That is the reason for superseding is the decision has been taken by RBI owing to the governance concern and default by these two NBFCs in the meeting their various payment obligations. Because we have already studied that RBI is the banker's bank. It also regulates a lot of the NBFCs and other banks in India. If it find out any default or any various payment obligations in any entity, then it is going to change it. So this power has been given to the RBI under the Reserve Bank of India Act 1934. So through this Reserve Bank of India Act 1934, under the section 45 IE clause 1, so the RBI superseded the board of directors of SIFL and SEFL. So instead of that, it appointed the Rajesh Sharma as the administrator. Okay, so now board of director is not there. Rajesh Sharma is there. He is the administrator of the SIFL and SEFL. Okay, so I hope this is clear to you. So here you need to remember this Reserve Bank of India Act 1934, very, very important. So you don't have to remember this section and all, at least try to remember the acts. Okay, important acts. Okay, so I hope this is clear to you. Next, Kotak Mahindra Bank becomes the first scheduled private sector bank to get the approval for collection of direct and indirect taxes. Anybody give me example of direct taxes and indirect taxes in India? Example of direct taxes. Anybody? Give me example of direct tax. Yes, income tax. Example of indirect tax. Every day in day-to-day life, we are paying indirect tax to the government, right? At least give me some example of indirect tax. Yes, tax on goods, petrol, yeah, GST. GST is one of the indirect tax. Okay, so okay, you have idea about it. Corporate tax come under direct or indirect tax? Corporate tax, it comes under the direct tax or indirect tax? Anybody? You have told that income tax is example of direct tax, right? So corporate tax is whether indirect tax or direct tax? Yes, it is direct tax. Okay, so remember, in the direct tax, income tax and corporate tax will come. In indirect tax, other river GST. Okay, so in day-to-day life, we are paying a lot of tax, indirect tax for the government. Those all are under the indirect taxes list. So here the Kotak Mahindra Bank, that is KMBL, Kotak Mahindra Bank Limited, it has received the approval from the Government of India for collection of the direct and indirect taxes, for collection of various direct and indirect taxes such as the income tax, goods and service tax, etc. through its banking network. Okay, so there are some different norms to get any bank or to get approval from the government to receive the direct and indirect taxes by the bank. Okay, so there are many different norms and different acts are there. So this Kotak Mahindra Bank recently fulfilled those norms, fulfilled those clauses. So that's why Kotak Mahindra Bank recently received the approval from the government of India for the collection of direct and indirect taxes through its banking network. Okay, so in examination, they're going to ask recently which bank, and in fact which bank, that is first scheduled private sector bank, got the approval for the collection of direct and indirect taxes from the government of India. So like that question will come, they will give 4 options. So you need to remember it is nothing but Kotak Mahindra Bank. So why it becomes very, very important? Because it is the first scheduled private sector bank. So okay, here private sector is important, it is not public sector bank. Okay, it is a first scheduled private sector bank. It got approval from the government of India to receive the collection of direct and indirect tax. So that's why it become very, very important. So remember, it is Kotak Mahindra Bank. Okay. So next is RBI grants small finance bank license to the Unity Small Finance Bank, that is Unity SMB. So Reserve Bank of India has granted small finance bank license to the consortium of Centrum Financial Service Limited, in short it is Centrum, and Resilient Innovation Private Limited, that is Bharat Pay, named Unity Small Finance Bank, that is Unity SFB. So the Unity Small Finance Bank will take over the assets and liabilities of the Punjab and Maharashtra Cooperative Bank. RBI has given in principle approval to this Centrum Financial Service Limited to set up a small finance bank in the June 2021. Okay, so here what is this all issue is all about is RBI has power to grant the small finance bank status for any other banks. Okay, so because of that power, RBI recently granted the small finance bank license to the Unity SMB. Okay, so this Unity SMB becomes the 12th small finance bank in India. So how many small finance banks are there? 12 small finance banks are there. It is the 12th small finance bank of India. So recently it got received the grant from the RBI to become the small finance bank. Okay, so it got received the license from the RBI because RBI has the power to promote the any bank as small finance bank or scheduled bank or scheduled commercial bank. Okay, so which has the authority? RBI has the authority. We have recently studied that it got power from the Reserve Bank of India Act 1934 because this is the banker bank of India. Okay, so remember it is the 12th small finance bank of India. So what is that name? Unity SMB. Okay, so that you need to remember. I hope this is clear. Next, UCO Bank Chief A.K. Goel elected as the chairman of IBA. A.K. Goel, Managing Director and Chief Executive of UCO Bank, has been elected as the chairman of India's Bank Association, Indian Banks Association for 2021 and 2022. Okay, so remember his name, A.K. Goel. He is the MD and CEO of IBA. Okay, so he has replaced the Raj Kiran Rai Ji. Okay, so before the A.K. Goel, Raj Kiran Rai Ji was there. He was MD and CEO of this Union Bank of India. So now the A.K. Goel is elected as the chairman of IBA. What is IBA? Indian Banks Association for Indian Bank Association. This term is 2 years from 2021 to 2022. Okay, 2-year term. He elected as the chairman of IBA. Okay, so remember that's very important appointment. IBA is the representative body of management of banking in India, operating in India, and its headquarters is there in Mumbai. So remember this is also important. Sometimes in examination they're going to ask. So IBA, where is the headquarters of IBA? So headquarters is there located in the Mumbai. So recently also we have studied one entity and its headquarters, that is IFCA. Okay, so where is the headquarters of that IFCA? In the first issue we have discussed, right? Where is the headquarters? I have told you. IFSCA, sorry. Where is the headquarters of IFSCA? Gujarat. Okay, so remember Gift City, Gujarat. So Gift City also remember because Gujarat is named as the Gift City. So Gujarat, it is located. If you talk about specifically, it is located in the Gurugram of the Gujarat. So now when it comes to the IBA, this is located in the Mumbai. Okay, so Indian Banks Association, the headquarters is located in the Mumbai. So what is this IBA? It is nothing but it is one of the representative body of management of banking in India. Okay, so whichever the bank which are operating in India, it is going to represent that, it is going to represent them. Okay, it is like a head of all those banks. Okay, it is a representative body. Okay, so headquarters is located in the Mumbai. And who is the chairman of IBA? A.K. Goel. That also you need to remember. Okay, so next issue is Navrang Sethi gets additional charge as the chairperson of IBBI. Okay, so Navrang Sethi has been appointed as the interim chairperson of Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board of India. So what is IBBI? Insolvency and Bankruptcy. So there is a big chapter in economy about the insolvency and bankruptcy. If you guys have any idea about insolvency and bankruptcy, do let me know in the comment section. What is insolvency? Do you know anything about insolvency and bankruptcy? At least tell me these two terms are related to what? Insolvency and bankruptcy. Anybody? Because from 2019, I think from 2019, this insolvency and bankruptcy is there in India. Yes, not having capacity to pay loans. So that is like in general, definition. But if you say specifically, there is something word is there, non-performing asset. Okay, so non-performing asset is related to the non-performing assets. In economy, you will be having the big chapter about the insolvency. Yeah, Malya. Okay. Yeah, Vijay Malya. Okay, fine. Okay, so Navrang Sethi So I think you have idea about this IBBI, what is the insolvency and bankruptcy is all about. In economic class, you're going to study in detail about the insolvency and bankruptcy and what kinds of NPAs are there, non-performing assets are there. Okay, so what is the time period and all, you're going to study it in the economy. But as of now, remember this board, that is Insolvency Bankruptcy Board of India, that is IBBI, it is chaired by Navrang Sethi. Okay, so Navrang Sethi has been recently appointed as the interim chairperson of Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board of India for a period of just 3 months. Okay, so for a period of just 3 months, or till the joining of a new incumbent to the post. Okay, so remember, this person is not permanent, just only for 3 months he has been appointed as the chairperson of IBBI. So in the coming current affairs classes, you will be getting now who will become the chairperson of IBBI, because he is the interim chairperson. And Mr. Saini, who is a whole-time member of IBBI, has been assigned additional charge of the chairperson in addition to his existing duties. Okay, so now we got to understand that Navrang Saini is a part of IBBI. He is a member of IBBI. Why he has become chairperson? Because nobody is there in that post. I think until the further orders, he will be remain as the chairperson. But in the coming days, the other newcomer will come, new chairperson will come. So you need to keep that in mind. Okay, he is just interim chairperson of IBBI. Okay, so about this insolvency and bankruptcy, you're going to study in detail in the economic classes. Don't worry about that. Okay, so at least have an idea what is this insolvency and bankruptcy is all about. So next, KV Kamat appointed as the chairperson of NABF. Okay, central government has recently appointed KV Kamat as chairperson of National Bank for Financing Infrastructure and Development. Okay, so remember what is NABF? National Bank for Financing Infrastructure and Development. Okay, Kamat is well-known banker in India and is the first head of New Development Bank. So New Development Bank we have discussed in the previous class. It is related to the which grouping? Anybody let me know in the comment section. New Development Bank. So there are many banks are there. Asian Development Bank is there. New Development Bank is there. So you need to remember that New Development Bank is related to the which grouping? Anybody? I have told you in the previous class. Anybody? Remember, recall it. It's related to the which grouping? BRICS, right? I have told you in the previous class. Don't forget it. In examination, they're gonna ask, okay, New Development Bank related to the which grouping? They will give 4 options like SARC, BRICS, BIMSTEC, G20, G7, like that they will give. So don't forget, New Development Bank, it's a bank related to the BRICS. Okay, so BRICS grouping. I hope this is clear to you. Okay, so this KV Kamat, he who has been recently appointed as the chairperson of NABF. So he's the great banker in India, and he's the first head of the New Development Bank. It is related to the BRICS grouping. So NABF is a newly set up development financial institution in India. So it has been set up for infrastructure financing as per the National Bank for Financing Infrastructure and Development Act 2021. So whenever the acts will come now, like we have recently studied that Reserve Bank of India Act 1934 and this act National Bank for Financing Infrastructure and Development Act of 2021. So here you need to go back, you need to Google it and read the different clauses. Sometimes in examination, they will give 3 statements related to the any particular act. Okay, so they will give like whether 1 or 2 is correct, 1, 2, 3 is correct to make you confused. So because of that, whenever you read any acts in the news, just Google it and understand the clauses. Okay, different clauses. So this is your homework. So go today you should make Google of this NABF Act of 2021 and you need to study the different clauses of this act. Okay, so that is your homework. So here you need to remember this KV Kamat appointed as the chairperson of NABF and he is a well-known banker in India and he is the first head of New Development Bank, and this New Development Bank is related to the BRICS grouping. Okay, that points are very important. Keep in mind. Okay. So next is government reconstitutes 7-member EACPM. So what is EACPM, anybody? This is a very important body. The head of this EACPM is Bibek Debroy. Anybody? What is this EACPM? This is there on the screen only. Now tell me, what is this EACPM? What is EACPM? What is EACPM, guys? Okay. See, the central government has reconstituted the 7-member Economic Advisory Council, that is EAC. So PM means Prime Minister, Economic Advisory Council to the Prime Minister. And who is the head of that? Bibek Debroy. So very, very important. In examination, they directly gonna ask who is the head of EACPM. Okay, so remember Bibek Debroy. He continues to be the chairman of this council. Previous term also he was there. Okay, so now they have extended his term, Bibek Debroy's term, as the head of EACPM. So EACPM has been reconstituted for a period of 2 years. And other members you need to remember: Rakesh Mohan, Poonam Gupta, IT Ram Mohan, Sajid Chenoy, Neelkan Mishra, Nilesh Shah, or the other 6 members. Totally 7 members are there. Okay, so what is this EAC? We have already studied that Economic Advisory Council. Okay, so it advises the Prime Minister on the economic issues. What kind of economic issues? Like inflation, microfinance, industrial output. Okay, so any other economic issues involved in the country, they're going to advise it to the Prime Minister. That is the work of this EAC Council. Okay, so total 7 members are there. Who is the head of that? Bibek Debroy, and other 6 members are here. Okay, so if you want, you just note it down: Rakesh Mohan, Poonam Gupta, IT Ram Mohan, Sajid Shenoy, Neelkan Mishra, and Nilesh Shah. These are the other 6 members of the EACPM committee. So I hope this is clear to you. What is this EACPM is all about? And here another point you should keep in mind: this EACPM is a non-constitutional, non-statutory, independent body. In examination, to make you confused, they're gonna ask EACPM is the constitution body or non-constitutional body, statutory body, okay, executive body. Like that, they will give 4 options. So remember, it is not a constitutional body. It is non-statutory body. It is just independent body. It is just constituted to give some advice on economic and related issues to the government of India. So that is the work of this. It is not the constitutional body. Okay, so remember that. And it is not even the statutory body. So again, one question here: what is the difference between constitutional and statutory body? Anybody? So you need to know all these key terms. Okay, what is constitutional body? What is non-constitutional body? What is statutory body? Anybody? Which bodies you call as the constitutional body? What is the main reason behind that? Why you call it as the constitutional body? See, any entities which are formed through the articles in the constitution, those are called as the constitutional bodies. Okay, so any entities which are formed through the formed through the articles of the constitution, those are called as the constitutional body. So when it comes to the statutory body, any entities which are formed through the act. Okay, so different acts are there. So any entities which are formed through the act, those are called as the statutory body. So this is the main difference between the statutory and constitutional body. Okay, I hope this is clear to you. So when it comes to this EAC, that is Economic Advisory Council, it is non-constitutional, non-statutory, one independent body. Okay, so remember that. That is also very important point. And this EACPM was set up in the September 2017 with a term of 2 years, and it is replaced the Eastwell Economic Advisory Council to the Prime Minister. So before it was PM EAC, now they have changed it as EACPM. It came into the existence on September 2017. The term is 2 years. Okay, so that also you need to remember. So next, we're going to study some different loans they were in the news. Okay, loans in the news. The Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, in short, it is AIIB. Okay, the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, it has approved a loan worth rupees 356.67 okay US million dollar to support the expansion of Chennai Metro Rail. Okay, CMRL. So remember, the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, that is AIIB Bank, it has recently approved the loan of worth rupees 356.67 million US dollar to support the expansion of the Chennai Metro Rail project. Okay, so these are the factual things. You need to just just need to mug up these things. Next, the World Bank has approved the $150 million, okay, 150 million US dollar, that is around 1,112 crore rupees loan for funding Chennai City Partnership Sustainable Urban Service Program of the Tamil Nadu, with the vision of making Chennai into the world-class city that is more green, livable, and resilient to the climate change. Okay, so remember, the World Bank recently has approved the 150 million US dollar rupees in Indian rupees, that is 1,112 crore rupees loan, okay, for funding the Chennai City Partnership Sustainable Urban Service Program. Okay, so this program is developed by the Tamil Nadu. So what is the vision of this loan? The vision is of making Chennai into the world-class city that is more green, livable, and resilient to the climate change. Okay, so that is all about this World Bank loan of $150 million rupees. Okay, so next, World Bank has again approved the 40 million US dollar, that is around rupees 296 crore rupees loan for a project which aims at improving the quality of health services in the Meghalaya and strengthen the state's capacity to handle health emergencies, including the COVID-19 pandemic. See, whenever the northeastern state comes in the news, you need to keep that in the mind, because northeastern part of India is very important. Okay, so here World Bank is giving the $40 million rupees fund for the Meghalaya, okay, for the health sector and improve the quality quality of the health sector in the Meghalaya, and also strengthen the state's capacity to handle the health emergencies, because they have already seen COVID-19 crisis, okay, all over the India. So that's why they are giving the 40 million rupees funds for Meghalaya. So that you need to remember. Okay. Next, the Asian Development Bank, it has announced an increase in its climate financing goal of 2019-2030 for developing member countries. Okay, so these developing member countries, in short, called as DMCs. We have recently discussed the National Development Bank, that is related to the BRICS. Now we are discussing the Asian Development Bank. It is related to the which grouping? Anybody let me know in the comment section. It's very important. Okay, in examination they're gonna ask the question like that. Asian Development Bank is related to the which grouping? Anybody? It is related to the which grouping? Anybody? Sark. Think. Okay, keep on thinking, then give me the answer at last. Okay. See, Asian Development Bank, it has announced an increase in its climate financing goals 2019-2013 for the developing member countries by 20 billion to 100 billion. Recently, they have targeted to finance, that is climate finance, for 20 billion dollar rupees. Now they have changed its goal up to the $100 billion. It means $80 billion they have increased for the climate financing. Okay, so earlier in 2018, it was just 20 billion. Now they have increased up to the $100 billion. ADB has announced that 80 billion goal for climate financing for the developing countries in the Asia during the period of 2019 up to the 2030. Okay, it is nothing but whenever the developing countries started making any development in regards to the climate change, then they want to fund them. Okay, that is all about this issue. Okay, they are going to fund the developing countries which are making any inventions or any projects with regards to the environment. They're going to give the fund for them. So that's why they are keeping this $100 billion. Okay, so now it was before it was just 20 billion. Now it is the 100 billion. Okay, $100 billion. I hope this is clear to you. Next, India and US to raise the $100 billion per year to fight the climate change in developing countries. So India and USA together, they are raising the $100 billion per year to fight the climate change in the developing countries. Okay, that was in news. So next is the government of India and the Asian Development Bank have signed the $4.5 million project readiness finance. Okay, so that is PRF, Project Readiness Finance Loan, on October 26, 2021 for the proposed Agile Sustainable Urban Transport Project. Okay, so it is very important. Agile Sustainable Urban Transport Project. Because of that, India as well as the Asian Development Bank, they are signed together. They made an agreement of the rupees $4.5 million worth. Okay, that is Project Readiness Financing Loan. That is for Agile Sustainable Urban Transport Project. Okay, which two entities are involving in it? Indian government as well as Asian Development Bank. Okay, that you need to remember. Next, the government of India and Asian Development Bank have signed the $251 million rupees loan for climate resilient integrated urban flood protection and management in the Chennai Kosataliyar Basin to strengthen the resilience of the Chennai city to the floods. So recently we have discussed that World Bank has also given some loan to the Tamil Nadu under the program for the resilient and for the strengthening of the Chennai. Okay, so now the government of India as well as the Asian Development Bank, they are also giving that $251 million rupees loan for the climate resilient integrated urban flood protection and management in the Chennai Kosataliyar Basin to strengthen the resilience of Chennai city to the floods. Okay, so because of the flood, they are giving this fund. Okay, they want to make that climate resilient society, climate resilient infrastructures. Okay, so remember that. Next, the Asian Development Bank, it has approved the 250 million US dollar, that is about 1,875 crore rupees loan to support India's National Industrial Corridor Development Program. So this is one of the program. Okay, so India's National Industrial Corridor Development Program. Okay, so this fund is given by the Asian Development Bank. So what is the money it is giving? 250 million US dollars. So these loans are all the factual steps. Okay, here what you need to remember is which bank is giving, okay, how much money it is giving, and what is the purpose of that. Only three things you need to remember here, and these are very factual. Okay, so remember that. So in this topic, you learned the banking and finance current affairs of the October 2021. If you have any doubts regarding these topics, let me know in the comment section. Any doubts?